I'll be deep in the cold, cold ground before I recognize Missouri.
Today we're looking at the latest wave of Simpsons figures from Jakk Pacific. Perfect for back to school, we have Edna Krabappel.
Bart's teacher is named Krabappel? I've been calling her Crandall.
Everyone's favorite actor turned infomercial host, Troy McClure.
Troy McClure? I thought he disappeared after that scandal at the aquarium.
Next we have Bart from one of my favorite episodes, Lisa on Ice. And the senior member of the Simpsons clan, Grandpa.
Hey, everybody! An old man's talking.
Grandpa's the name.
Overall, this seems like it's going to be a super fun mix of characters. So let's dive right in and see what each one of these classic characters has to offer. We'll start off with what I'm guessing is the first of many different Bart Simpson variants, Bart the hockey player. This figure is based on Bart's appearance from Lisa on Ice, the hockey episode, and when the episode starts, Bart is basically dominating the league until Apu's team finds their secret weapon with Lisa as the goalie. The figure is pretty spot on to his appearance in the episode, and of course he comes with a hockey stick and a hockey puck, but there's one more accessory I really wish he had.
I just ripped the head off Mr. Honey Bunny.
Bart, that was your cherished childhood toy.
Ah, Mr. Honey Bunny!
And unlike the Homer at the Bat figure, he can get both hands on his stick at once. Size-wise, he is pretty close to the original Bart figure from this line. I'm happy to see that they gave a little bit more emotion to his expression, and it's hard to see on camera, but they made his skin tone just a little bit less pale. And it might just be because of the outfit, but it looks like his articulation is a little bit smoother too. We never got a hockey-playing version of Bart in the vintage Playmates line, but here's how he stacks up size-wise with that original figure. I think this hockey Bart is a great variant to choose for the line, but what other classic Bart figures would you like to see? Next up is one of the most iconic side characters in the whole Simpsons series, and of course it's none other than Troy McClure.
Star of such films as P is for Psycho and The President's Neck is Missing.
This classic character was voiced by Phil Hartman, so we probably won't see him again in the series, but I'm really glad this figure came with one of the goofy gadgets from his infomercials.
Doctor, are you sure it's on? I can't hear a thing.
It's whisper quiet.
They even went the extra mile to include this little cup with a tiny spot of orange on the bottom.
You got all that from one bag of oranges?
Which to me just proves how much the designers are into the show. He can't really hold the juice loosener itself, but he can hold the cup. But wait, that's not all. Because you never know when this heartthrob needs a little breath spray.
Just a second, baby.
Now there are a bunch of Troy variants they could do in this line, but I'm really hoping for a Planet of the Apes box set. Now I will say there's a pretty big difference between this one and the vintage Playmates figure. You can see the new one looks a lot younger, and the vintage version on the right looks a little bit more weathered. In my opinion, they both look great, but if we're going off accuracy for most of his depictions in the show, I think the vintage version is just a little bit more accurate. But you know me, the more the merrier, and I'm super happy to have this updated version of Troy. Next up, we have everyone's favorite meme from The Simpsons, Abraham J. Simpson, or Grandpa.
Can't you just use this recent photo? Who's laughing now? Shut up!
In my opinion, this is one of the best figures Jakk has put out yet. I think they translated the 2D design to the 3D figure perfectly, and the sculpt on his head does a great job capturing all those old man features. Overall, his outfit is looking really good too. He's got that top with the bolo tie, the great pants, the slippers. Looks like he's just missing one little thing.
So I tied an onion to my belt, which was the style at the time.
Of course, for articulation, you can get him in that classic one fist up yelling pose. And just like that, he's got the attention of all of Springfield's youth.
Shut up!
This version is a great update to the classic vintage Playmates figure. He no longer looks like he's holding in a number 1. The glasses actually stay on his head, and his outfit is a little bit more accurate in color. Although they did come out with an updated color scheme later on in the line. I honestly didn't expect to like this figure so much, but I think it's my favorite so far. And finally, we have the old Krabappel herself, Mrs. Krabappel. Color-wise, she's pretty spot on for what we see in the show most often, but she does have the same tiny feet as Marge, so she's a little bit hard to stand. Unlike the show, she does seem to have some nice school supplies.
How do you expect us to teach with these supplies? Well, this pointer's so old it's worn down to a nub.
I just wish they would have come up with a little bit better way to do the feet, either by making them a little bit bigger or wider. They did nail the looks, but if Edna had to teach in these conditions for real, you know what she'd say.
Strike!
When comparing it to the vintage Playmates figure, I think this is another one that is a good upgrade. I'm not exactly sure what it is about the old sculpt, but it doesn't quite look accurate. Maybe it's the eyes that look just a little bit too kind instead of her standard scowl.
Come on!
All right, that's a good point.
Voiced by Marsha Wallace, this is another classic Simpsons character that's gone too soon. As far as the larger figures go, this is probably my favorite wave yet, and I think all 4 characters overall are really well done. These figures are pretty hard to find in store. I got mine from Toy Stalker online, so let me know if you've been lucky enough to find this set and which one is your favorite. Thanks for watching, and feel free to subscribe for more TMNT, Simpsons, and vintage toys.